Number one, ever since we put up that jobs notice on website, we've received a lot of application. I bet there are at least 50. I know the president will be happy to hear that. He is eager to hire head engineer and wants the new hire to start as soon as possible. So good. But uh, but with so many submissions, uh, I haven't I haven't been able to look at all of them properly. Why don't you? Why don't I help you? I have some time around 10 o'clock tomorrow. Uh, I'll stop by your office and we can go over them together. Number two, Sarah, I heard you were promoted. Congratulations. When does this go into effect? Thanks. It starts in 2 weeks, but I'm busy until then. Since I need to attend trainings every day for rest. I don't know when I'll have time to pack this stuff up. Well, I've finished my work for the day. Really? That's perfect. Could you see if there's an extra box in the supply closet? Number three. Did you hear? At the staff meeting, they said the, that the store managers, Miss Harford, will retire this year, and they are looking for someone internal to take the spot. Wow, I love to, I love to be a store manager, but I don't think I have enough experience to be considered. But didn't you take business classes in college? Plus, you've been assistant manager for a while. That's a lot. That's a lot more than most of us. Maybe you're right. Do you know when interviews start? I think they'll be compiling a list of candidates this morning and beginning interviews next month. The human resources managers would know more. So you ask him. Should you ask him? Number four. Did you hear about Stacy? She's quitting and going to work for prize publications. You're kidding? They are our biggest competitor. I thought she liked it there. She liked it here. She did. But they scouted her and offered her a great position. It was hard to refuse. Good for her. She deserves it. Maybe we should start thinking about our career plans. Right. I think I'll my resume later today. Number five. Uh, thank, thank you for you coming to today's interview. We know the location is hard to reach. I'm Scott Samattans, the chief designer, and I'm Jeffrey Patterson, the head editor of the magazine. It's great to finally meet you both. Hmm. We looked over your resume and thought you would be a perfect addition your to our design department. But we weren't sure you had much experience in fashion photography. Actually, we did a freelance work for my friend's fashion studio. Uh, would you like to see some of the pieces we used on her website? I brought some with me today. That would be great. And if you could tell us about how you came up with your shooting method. Number 6. Amy, have you applied for the company positions that were advertised last week? No, I'm still revising my resume. It doesn't feel like it stands out enough. I know they'll they'll be opening the hiring to people outside the company as well. If you want, I can send you my resume to my Ask Guide. I received a lot of help with mine, and it's definitely helped. I was, I, I would appreciate that. Thanks. Number 7. Now, before we finish today's meeting, I'd like to talk about our hiring process this year. In the past, we've always used the headhunter who recommends candidates to us. We like to discuss the new service. This service. Uh, oh, why that? I thought this were very successful. It is, but it is very costly, and corporate would like to us to reduce hiring cost. I've come up with a chart that shows how we've hired people in the past. I'm surprised. I didn't expect these results. Then we should finally go with the second best method. I'll talk to the rest of the team so they can know more about this. Number 1. The woman said to the man, since she put it up the last job notice on a website, and they have received a lot of applications, and she bet there was at least 50. The man replied, the president would be happy to hear that, because he was eager to hire us as engineer, and wanted uh, the new hire to start as soon as possible. The man agreed with the woman agreed with him. However, she complained there were so many submissions, so she hadn't been able to look at all of them properly. The man suggested have the woman because he has some time tomorrow around 10 o'clock. So he would stop by her office, and they could go over them together. The man congratulated the woman on her promotion, and he wanted to know when it went go into effect. The woman replied, "It started in 2 weeks." But, but she was busy until then, since she needed to attend trainings every day for rest, and she worried about not having time to pack this stuff up. Uh, the man said he had finished his work for that day. The humans were happy about that, and she suggested the man find an extra pot in the supply closet. Number 3. The woman says to the man, the store manager was retired last year, uh, so they were looking for someone internal to take the spot. The man replied, he would love to be a store manager, but uh, he but he didn't think he had enough experience to be considered. The woman thought. Uh, the woman thought he had been assistant manager for a while. Uh, that was lost than more of them. The man agreed with the woman, and he wanted to know when interviews started. The woman replied, uh, they would be compiling a list of candidates that month and beginning interviews the day after. And she suggested ask the human resources managers because he had knew more. Number 4. The humans wanted to know if the man had heard Stacy were quitting and going to work for prize publications. The humans arrived by that because they were her biggest competitors. The human explained they had scouted her and offered her a great position, so she was hard to refuse. The man commanded. The man commanded. Uh, she deserved it, and he thought they should start thinking about their career plans. The woman agreed with the man, and she thought uh, she would update her resume later that day. Number 5. The man once was thankful the woman for coming to that day interview. Although the location was hard to reach, uh, and and he introduced he was the the chief designer. The man to introduce he was the head editor of the magazine. The women were happy about meeting them. The man too said the woman they had looked over her resume and thought she would be a perfect addition to their design department. However, they hadn't been sure. She had much experience in fashion photography. The woman replied, she had done freelance work for her friend's fashion studio, and she suggested she sees some of the pieces they used on her friend's website. and brought she has brought some with her that day. The man once were happy about that, and his justice tell them about how she had come up with her shooting method. Number 6. The man wanted to know if the woman has applied for the company position that were advertised the week before. The woman disagreed with him, and she says she's still revising her resume because it didn't feel like it's standing out enough. The man suggested send the woman his resume to use as a guide. The woman was helpful the man.